In the world of international diplomacy, few relationships are as complex and crucial as that between the United States and South Korea. This partnership is currently being tested by a significant financial demand from Washington. U.S. President Donald Trump has asked South Korean President Lee Jae-myung to steer a massive $350 billion investment into the American economy. This request is not merely a suggestion but a cornerstone of a proposed trade deal that could reshape economic ties between the two allies. The stakes are incredibly high, as the outcome will have profound implications for both nations, touching manufacturing jobs in the U.S. and financial stability in South Korea. The context for this negotiation is a new political landscape in both countries. President Lee finds himself navigating complex diplomatic waters, a task that has proven to be a formidable challenge. The framework of the potential deal is straightforward on the surface but incredibly complex in its details. The central incentive for South Korea is a significant reduction in trade barriers. The United States has offered to lower punishing tariffs on South Korean goods from 25% down to 15%. Such as cars and electronics, this reduction would provide a major boost to South Korea's export-driven economy, making its products more competitive in the American marketplace, and potentially saving its companies billions of dollars. This tariff relief is the primary carrot being dangled by the Trump administration to secure a favorable outcome. In exchange for this tariff relief, the United States is asking for a monumental commitment from South Korea. The centerpiece of the demand is a $350 billion investment in various American projects, which would be chosen by President Trump. This cash infusion is intended to fund infrastructure manufacturing. Furthermore, the deal requires South Korea to purchase an additional $100 billion worth of American liquefied natural gas and other energy products. The situation is further complicated by an unexpected and unfortunate incident on American soil. Tensions flared when an immigration raid occurred at a new Hyundai Motor and LG Energy Solution battery factory in Georgia, where about 300 South Korean workers were among the 475 people arrested. For President Lee and many South Koreans, the demand for a $350 billion cash investment awakens the ghosts of a painful past, the 1997 Asian financial crisis. During that time, large corporate debts, a sudden drop in asset values, and other economic weaknesses rapidly depleted South Korea's foreign exchange reserves. The country was pushed to the brink of bankruptcy, forcing it to accept a deeply humbling bailout package from the International Monetary Fund. The memory of this crisis is seared into the national psyche, serving as a constant reminder of how quickly economic fortunes can reverse. President Lee has explicitly warned that meeting Trump's demand could trigger a similar catastrophe. In an interview, he explained that without certain financial safeguards, withdrawing $350 billion in cash to invest in the U.S. could destabilize the South Korean economy. South Korea would face a situation as it had in the 1997 financial crisis, highlighting the immense risk. Adding to these worries are the structural differences between South Korea's economy and that of Japan. It holds foreign exchange reserves nearly double South Korea's $410 billion. Its currency, the yen, is a global reserve currency, and it benefits from a standing currency swap line with the U.S. While the Georgia factory raid created a significant diplomatic hiccup, President Lee has been careful to frame it as a manageable issue. He acknowledged that South Koreans were naturally angered by the harsh treatment of the workers, and warned that such incidents could make Korean companies wary of future investments. I do not believe this was intentional, and the U.S. has apologized for this incident. Both sides have agreed to seek reasonable solutions, signaling a shared desire to move past the controversy. This desire to find a swift resolution is driven by President Lee confronting pressing domestic challenges. South Korea is currently grappling with some of the most severe societal problems in the developed world: the lowest birth rate globally, a top-ranking suicide rate, and the highest youth unemployment rate among developed nations. These deep-seated issues require long-term policy solutions and significant government resources. President Lee has made it clear that he wants to conclude the talks and stabilize the relationship as quickly as possible. We should end this unstable situation as soon as possible, expressing his hope that discussions do not drag on into the next year. A swift and successful resolution would secure favorable trade terms and allow his government to pivot focus back to the urgent domestic agenda. boosting economic vitality and improving quality of life for citizens, particularly the younger generation facing a difficult job market. For both nations, finding middle ground that respects South Korea's economic constraints while fulfilling America's investment goals remains the final and most important hurdle.